So hello everyone, in this video we will see the example program to use the LCF ladder, like how to write program using LCF ladder. So we are going to write this program. I have written in the comments, you can just see this line. So we are going to write a program to implement simple calculator using LCF ladder. So since this is a simple calculator, we will just assume that we have only 5 basic operations. So you know what is the use of calculator. It is used to perform the mathematical task, right? But since we are implementing only a simple calculator, we will assume that we have only 5 basic statements, 5 basic operations, right? That is plus and minus, and the third one is multiplication, fourth one is division, and the fifth one is modulus. So we are making this basic assumption that we have only this 5 operation available in our calculator. Now let us start writing the program. So first we need to write the header file. So let us write our header file, which is has include stdio.h. Then you can write the main function. So we will write the void main. Then we need to declare the variable. So as you can see, as you all can see and just guess that, so these are the binary operators, right? So we have seen different type of operator. These are the binary arithmetic operators. So for binary operators, two operands are required as the input. We have discussed when we have discussed the operator. So first, let us declare the input for them. So we will take declare two input for them, and the third one we will use for storing the result, right? So whatever result we will get, we need to store that also. So we will declare other variable so that we can store the result. And after that, we will also take character as the input. So 5 options are available for us, right? So we have 5 available options, but we can only use one option at a time. Then that also we will ask that option from the user which operator he wants to use, right? So since this is of type character, so these are the characters. You cannot declare int, float, or any other thing double for these variables, for these operators. So these are characters, so we will declare char data type, and we will declare op variable, right? Now we need to take the input. Variable declaration is done. After that we need to take the input, but before taking the input we will print instruction for the user. So since these are binary operators, so we will print this line, enter two numbers, right? Because two numbers will be required to operate on these operators. And after that we will write the input function, and we will take the input. So both the variables are of type integer, and the name is a and b. So number we have taken as the input. Then after that we have to take operator also as the input, because we have 5 available options. So we cannot use all the 5 options at one time. So we have to select one option, and that we can use at a time. So for that also I will print one line. I will tell the user to enter the operator. I will print instruction for the user, enter the operator. And after that we can take operator as the input. So this is of type character, so the format specifier will be %c, and the name is op. So this we have taken as the input. Whatever input is required for the program, we have just done it. After that we need to write the logic. So you can start from the any operator. I will just start from the plus operator. So we'll write first condition, we will write like this: if operator equal to plus. So let us just pause the video for a while. Just pause the video for a while and just think about this, what condition I have written. Just pause the video. So we are just what we are doing, we are comparing. So operator we will take as the input, and we will compare operator with this thing. And you know that whenever we will use the character constant, we have to enclose within the single quotes. So we are just comparing operator with plus. So whatever operator we have taken as the input, if that matches with the plus, we need to do the addition. So we will write like this: result equal to a plus b. So this should be same. So you can see this thing, if operator is plus, we have to do the addition operation, right? So that is why I have written plus here. And this I will print like this. So the result of, let us write like this: percentage d, and then percentage c, again percentage d, each percentage d. and the first percentage d should be replaced with the first input, that is a. The percentage c should be replaced with the operator, that is op. The this one, the second percentage d should be replaced with b, and the last percentage d should be replaced with the result. So we will print like this: the result of percentage d, percentage c, percentage d is percentage d. So this will be very clear after you will see the output of the program. So let me complete the program, then I will show you the output. It will become very clear, 100, it will become the crystal clear. So this is about the plus. Same way we can write, in the same way we can write for all the operators. So let us just copy this thing. We will just copy this thing and we will paste it for 4 more times, because we have 5 different operators. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we will do, since we have to write using else if, so we will write else if, right? So I will replace else with if with else if, since we are writing using the else if ladder. Right, we have seen the syntax for else if statement in the past, in the previous video, and I have told that so else if statement can be one or many. We will see that. Just wait for some time, let me complete the editing first, then I will talk about it. And here also, and then we will replace, we will check for all the operators. So first one was plus, then we will check for minus, and here we will replace, since the operator is minus, if the operator is minus, you have to do the subtraction operation. And then we will check for the multiplication operation, and if operator is multiplication, you have to do the multiplication operation. Then we will do the division operation, and if operator is division, then you have to do the division operation. And the last one, we will do the modulus operation, and if operator is modulus, you have to perform the modulus operation. So as you can see, first we have written the if block. So this I have discussed, this I have written, and I have discussed also how we have written. Then we have to check more conditions, right? So there is not one condition is not there, we have to check for all the different operator, and we have 5 different operators, right? So first operator, for the first operator we have checked, for the addition operator we have checked. Then we have written 4 else if block. So this is 1, this is 2 for the multiplication, this one is 3rd for the division, and this one is 4th for the operation, for the modulus. So we have written 4 else if block or 4 else if condition, and we are checking the other condition. So in this question we have more conditions to check. We have, in total or exact, I have to say, we have 5 conditions to check. So for the first condition I have used the if condition, and for the remaining 4 condition I am checking the else if condition. And I want, so you can use if also, instead of using else if, you can use if also. So but I want only one condition to get satisfied, right? But I want only one condition to get satisfied, so operator can be only one of the these 5 operators. That is why I have written else if. So from these 5 condition, only one condition will get satisfied, and you will get result according to that condition. So this is about the else if. And at the last you have to write the else block. So let us see how we can write the else block. So in the else block we don't need to write any condition, that I have discussed, right? So if all the condition will get failed, if all the above condition will not get satisfied, then else block will be executed. And in the else block we will write enter the valid operator. Why? Because so we are checking for all the 5 operators. Suppose user enters any other operator like logical and operator, logical or operator, or any other operator. Suppose if user want invalid operator symbol, suppose you enter like hash or at the rate, then you should be able to tell the user that the operator is not valid. If you don't print anything, you don't print write else block, it will be error. But suppose you write the last part, suppose you write this thing in the else, and if the user will give the hash also, then also you will be able to calculate the modulus only. You will be able, modulus will be calculated in the, if you write this thing in the else block. So let us do one thing, instead of telling, let me write that, let me do that. Suppose the last condition, this is not else if, this is else, and we know that in the else we don't have to write any condition. So the last part we have written in the else block, right? So let us see what will be the output. I hope this is clear for you. So first we have written the if condition, and after that everything is just similar. I have just written else if. Other things are completely same. You have seen I have just done the copy and paste here. So in else if also you can write the condition. The meaning of the purpose of writing else if statement is only one condition should get executed out of these conditions, right? So let us just save the program and we will compile it first. So it is getting compiled. Let us just wait for some time. So you can see there are no errors or no warnings here. Then we will just go ahead and execute the program. Now it is asking enter two numbers. Suppose I give 7 and 5 here. So it is not asking for the operator. It is directly, so it is not asking for the operator. For that we need to give space here, that we have seen when we have discussed about the character data type, right? So when we have discussed character data type, we have discussed this point. So here we are taking two inputs, and after taking two input we are pressing enter. So the compiler is thinking enter also as the character, and we are not able to give character as the input. Now we will just compile it again and we will see the output. So it is asking enter two numbers, so we will give 7 and 5. Now it is asking enter the operator, and in the place of operator suppose we will give and. So this is not a valid operator, as you know. So five assumptions we have made, five basic assumptions we have taken, basic operator we have taken, right? Five basic operator. So this operator is not one of those. If I press enter, so it is telling the result of 7 and 2 is 2. It is calculating the modulus operator, because that thing modulus we have written in the else block, right? So but we don't have to do that. So if the operator is modulus, then only we have to calculate the modulus. So we will just go ahead and we will just modify our program. So here we will write else if, and we will compare this condition here also. If operator is modulus, then only we have to calculate the modulus operation, right? So we are doing this one. So if you give any operator apart from those four operator, it will calculate the modulus operation, right? It will do the modulus operation, but that is not correct. That should not happen. That is why this also I am checking as the condition. So don't think that the last part, the last condition you can write in the else block. So this is the point I want to convey. And in the last else part we will write enter the valid operator, so that user will come, if user will enter any other operator by mistake, he will come to know that he has to enter the valid operator. Now let us just compile the program and we will see the output once again. So it is asking enter two numbers. Let us give 7 and 5. Operator we will give division operator. So the result of 7 divided by 5 is 1. So as you can see, so this line we have printed, right? So percentage d, so this is the result of percentage d, again percentage c, again percentage d, again percentage d. So this you have to practice. If you practice more like this, so you will be able to write very easily. This might be confusing in the beginning, but with the practice it will be very clear. It is very easy. So as you can see, we are not getting exact result here. We are getting only integer part, right? We are getting only integer quotient, but we want the exact result. So let us see how we can do that. We have discussed this in the typecasting video. So if you want to get the exact result, you have to use the typecasting. You have to use the explicit typecasting. So for that, let us declare one more variable for storing the float result, right? For storing the float result, and here in this one, what I will do, I will do res1, and here I will do the typecasting. So I will convert this to float, right? And this should be percentage f. So I'm not discussing this in detail because we have already discussed this point. So if you have any confusion regarding this video, please go to typecasting video and just see that video. After that, come back again, it will be clear for you. And here I will do res1, right? So some changes I have made. I have just declared one more variable for storing the float result, that is res1. Then we have came to the division operator, where we are checking the division condition, and here res1 I have replaced to res variable I have replaced to res1. And here I have done the typecasting. I have done the explicit typecasting, because if we want the exact result we need to do the typecasting. And here also I have changed data type to percentage f, because res is float variable, and here also I have written res1. So let us just save the program and we will compile it. So it is asking enter the two numbers, we will give 7, same thing, we will give 7 and 5. Enter the operator, division operator we will give, and now you can see, so we are getting the exact result, we are getting 1.4, right? So if you want to print only two places after the decimal, that also you can do, that also we have seen in one of the videos. So this is about the simple calculator, this is about the LCF ladder, and we have written a very simple program that is to implement the simple calculator using the LCF ladder. So you can try for the other things also. So this is a quite a big program, it is 50 lines of code, but we have written very easily. So this is very easy to write, just you should know the logic, after that it will be very easy, it will become very easy. So you can try for the other operators also, you can try for plus, minus and multiplication, those we have not checked, we have only checked division and modulus. You can try for the other operator, because it is better to check for all the conditions, because if you don't check the condition, you don't know whether you will get correct output or not. And when you will write the program in any test or interview, they will check for the all the conditions. So this is very important to check all the cases. So this is about the LCF ladder. If you have any doubt, LCF ladder example actually I can say. So if you have any doubt with respect to this video, you can just mention in the comment section, we will try to resolve as